Before I write code, pick a tech stack, or start building screens, I need to answer one question. What problem is this project actually supposed to solve? That sounds basic, but this is where a lot of IT projects go wrong. People jump straight into tools, dashboards, automations, designs, and features before the problem is clear. Then later, the team realizes they built the wrong thing, missed the real user need, or created something nobody wants to use. My name is Corey Kai. I'm an IT specialist, U.S. Army veteran, business owner, and technical program manager. In this video, I'm going to walk through how I plan an IT project before writing code. This is the process I use to take an idea, turn it into a clear plan, and make sure the project is ready to build. Planning does not mean moving slow. Good planning keeps you from wasting time. Before I start building, I want to know a few things. What problem are we solving? Who is the user? What does the current process look like? What should happen first? What should we avoid building right now? And how will we know the project actually worked? Without those answers, the project turns into guessing. The developer guesses what to build. The stakeholder guesses what they want. The user gets a system that might not solve the real problem. That is why planning matters. It gives the team a target. It gives the project a clear scope. And it helps make sure the final system is useful. The first step is defining the problem. This is simple, but it is also where a lot of projects fall apart. A vague problem creates a vague system. For example, saying we need a dashboard is not enough. That does not tell me who needs it, what decision they need to make, or what problem the dashboard is supposed to solve. A better version would be managers cannot see which support tickets are overdue, so issues stay open too long and customers do not get updated. Now we have something we can work with. We know who has the problem. We know what is happening. We know why it matters. Before I build anything, I want the problem written in one clear sentence. If I cannot explain the problem clearly, the project is not ready yet. After the problem is clear, I identify the users. This matters because not every user needs the same thing. An admin may need control. A manager may need reports. A customer may only need a simple update. A support team may need speed, accuracy, and fewer manual steps. Those differences matter. They affect permissions, screens, notifications, reports, data access, and security. For each user, I ask, what do they need to do? What information do they need? What should they not be able to access? And what decision are they trying to make? Good IT planning starts with people. The system exists to help someone complete a task, make a decision, or solve a problem. Once I know the users, I map the workflow. This means I look at the process from start to finish. What starts the process? What information gets entered? Who reviews it? What decision needs to be made? What happens after that decision? And where does the process usually break? This step is important because a lot of technical problems are really workflow problems. Sometimes the team does not need a complicated system. They need a cleaner process. When I map the workflow first, I can see what should be automated, what should stay manual, and what should be removed completely. That makes the build easier. It also keeps us from building features that sound good but do not actually help the user. After the workflow is mapped, I write the requirements. This is where the idea starts turning into something real. A good requirement should be clear enough for a developer to build from and clear enough for the project owner to approve. I like plain English requirements. For example, as a manager, I need to see all overdue tickets so I can assign follow-up actions before the end of the day. That one sentence tells us the user, the need, and the reason. From there, we can define the screen, the data, the filters, the rules, and how we will test it. Requirements are not supposed to sound complicated. They're supposed to remove confusion. If a requirement makes the team stop and ask, "What does this actually mean?" then it needs to be rewritten. Next, I define the MVP. The MVP is the smallest useful version of the project. This is where you have to be disciplined. A lot of projects get too big because everyone wants their favorite feature in version 1. That is how a simple project turns into a long, expensive project. When I define the MVP, I ask, what is the smallest version that solves the main problem? What has to be included? What can wait? What can be manual for now? And what feature creates the most value first? The MVP should not be weak. It should be focused. The goal is to ship something useful, test it with real users, learn from it, and improve it. Before building, I also look at risks and constraints. This includes security, privacy, budget, timeline, user adoption, data quality, integrations, and support. For example, if the system handles personal data, security and privacy cannot be added later. They have to be part of the plan. If the project depends on an outside API, that creates a risk. If users are not technical, the interface needs to be simple. If the budget is limited, the first version cannot include every advanced feature. Good planning does not ignore risk. It brings risk into the open early. That way, the team can make better decisions before the problems become expensive. Once the problem, users, workflow, requirements, MVP, and risks are clear, I build a project plan. The plan does not need to be fancy. It needs to answer a few basic questions. What are we building? Who owns each part? What is the timeline? What are the milestones? What decisions are still open? And what does done actually mean? For a small IT project, I might use a simple 4-week plan. Week 1 is planning and requirements. Week 2 is the core build. Week 3 is testing, content, and adjustments. Week 4 is review, fixes, and launch. The point is not to make the plan look impressive. The point is to make delivery clear. Code is not the first step. The first step is understanding the problem. When the problem is clear, the requirements get better. When the requirements are clear, the build gets easier. When the scope is controlled, the project moves faster. And when risks are known early, the team makes better decisions. That is how I plan IT projects before writing code. I start with the problem, define the users, map the workflow, write plain English requirements, define the MVP, identify risks, and then build the project plan. That process helps turn ideas into systems people can actually use. Thanks for watching. In the next video, I'll break down how I write clear requirements for an IT project before development starts. I'll see you there.